Shelby County Supervisors on Tuesday, August 15th. Any conflict of interest on the agenda today?
None.
Okay. I'm going to remove the last item, number 13. I'm not quite ready with that yet. And so with that, would I have a motion to approve the agenda with removing item 13?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Have any questions on approving the minutes for August 1st? Any changes, Mark,
No.
corrections? Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie to approve the minutes for August 1st. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Had a chance to look over all the claims.
Yep.
Any questions there? I had
No
a couple of
questions.
them that Angel answered for me.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce, approve the claims for this month. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Any department head reports? Okay. Building and grounds report. That's Mark and Bryce.
Yeah, I'll start with the auditor's stuff first. Melissa Arkvelt and myself recently attended a 3-day election training, and this training's only available every other year. It's pretty specialized. It gets into the nitty-gritties. Things that might not ever come up, but over the past 6.5 years, things always come up, and it does. One of these situations does arise every now and then. Last week we had somebody came in and challenged 41 different voters in Shelby County of their eligibility to vote. So on September 5th or 6th, we sent out letters yesterday to all these voters saying your eligibility's been challenged. It is a big deal, and it's perfectly legal, everything's fine, and so we're going to sit in here and see if anybody shows up, and that person that challenged them all, and if they don't show up, they're just canceled. All canceled means is if they're still eligible and they didn't show up to this hearing, they can come vote on, all they have to do is prove up again.
So did they challenge it because of an election?
A lot of them are moving, they've moved, and I see people that I recognize.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved to Omaha.
So how did they come up with 41 people, these 41 people?
They went through the list themselves. One of the parties has done this, and it's been an initiative that's been going on all year in the state of Iowa. It's been happening to other counties.
Okay, so there's a group out there looking into this?
Yeah, and they're trying to clean up
Okay.
voter lists and,
Okay,
yeah. But it's not a big deal. If somebody gets canceled, all you have to do is show your ID, proof of residence again, and you can go ahead and vote again, even if it's done in error. Having your voting privileges canceled is not that big a deal. It might be to some people, but, and it was ironic that they came in, was it Monday? And Melissa and I were at training and they covered that last week. So we were right on top of it, and between the three of us, we got it all worked out, and I've got great help up there.
so was there a lot of them?
There's 41, and there's one that had already moved back to Harlan. And so we called the person that was challenging and said, hey, they've proved up, they've already re-registered, and they have not left the county. So,
Actually, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good thing.
Next week, and we now have 3 individuals in the auditor's office, this is for the first time ever, that have this certification. I'm pretty proud of that we all, when we lean on each other a lot, we do. Next week, I'll attend training for some new software for elections. It's to be installed before the November city school elections. I've talked to the IT director and asked that we have all of our the computers that this is to be installed on, have that all done by October 1st. Having an IT director, what a burden that's taken off of me
Good for everybody.
in my office, you know, because I have to look at my fingers when I type. So I'll be in Des Moines for a total of 4 days next week at various auditor meetings, and again the middle of the month. in September. I'll be there another day for training for county finance reform that was passed by the Iowa legislature and signed by the governor that will place further restrictions on cities and counties, as well as mandated new budget procedures. We gotta make mailings to every taxpayer in Shelby County, and we got a 4-day window to make those mailings next spring. And it's gonna be tough. The new Iowa code limiting local government's freedom will only create more cost and learning time for counties and cities, which of course means the taxpayers are gonna be footing those bills. With Bryce, we went and inspected the buildings, and you can jump anytime, Bryce, but the issues continue to be another busy part of my duties. It's requested that unneeded file cabinets at the annex be removed from the rented portion of the building. I'm currently in the process of getting them moved. There's no one in the courthouse that does those type of duties. They have all been offered to other departments. I put pictures, sent pictures out, and there's been some recent maintenance issues on roofs. When we get a 3-inch rain, and it hasn't rained for 3 years like that, we get some issues.
Fortunate today we inspected, it rained pretty good, so
Yeah.
it actually saw the leaks
Yeah,
in action, so.
yeah. And there's, now there's 2 in the annex versus 1.
Okay.
Is that where they put the new roof on?
Yeah. Yep. And there's 1 in one corner and 1 in the other. It's opposite corners of the building. And then there's 2 steel doors at the annex that are rusting out. I took a local company representative down to the annex last week, and he's gonna be supplying cost estimates.
Well, let's stop there. What about those leaks? So what are we doing to address?
I'm gonna circle
Okay.
back to that.
Okay.
The recent heavy rain revealed 3 leaks in the sheriff's building roof and 2 in the annex building. The sheriff's building roof was EMA and jail, and it's over the flat portion of the roof is where it's leaking. And also the skylight, during heavy rains, they can't hear, it's too noisy, and so Elevate, I just told them to come do it, because they're gonna fix a hole on the roof of the courthouse. When they come do it, they're gonna put a box over it, insulate it, and cap over that skylight.
Was it mostly there for light?
Yeah.
I think so.
And then how do they address that now then, if that's gonna be gone?
They leave it there and put a box over it.
Yeah, but
No.
he's
The
talking
extra
about the
light.
The
light.
light, how are they gonna,
Oh, I think it was just natural light.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know, but now it's gonna be dark, or is that gonna make it a lot darker in there?
I suppose it will, yeah.
They have to
They're
put some
like
light.
But they requested it.
Yeah.
EMA
Tonight we're
did.
gonna do it anyway, so.
Right, yeah,
I'm sure there's.
okay,
Yeah, it wasn't my decision, it was a request, and
okay.
It was put in there for well-being as well. You know, they're in there 24 hours and.
Yeah, no
Right.
worries.
Yeah.
Okay.
get some
I'm more
sunlight.
concerned with these roof leaks, because we had
Yeah.
a leak there a year ago already.
Mhm.
Roofing company
Hasn't-
should repair that.
Hasn't been taken care of, or what's going on there?
No, it's the flat roof
Well, there was one over at the
at the
EMA,
sheriff's
the
building.
sheriff's building.
Yeah, it wasn't the jail that was just re-roofed. It's the old flat roof.
Oh, okay.
It gets inspected every year. It does get inspected, but if it doesn't rain.
So is it leaking in the new part that was re-roofed here a few
Not
years
the way I
ago?
understand it, no.
Okay, so how is this being addressed?
The appropriate companies have been notified. I called Elevate to come look at that while they were fixing the skylight in the courthouse. There's just some tears up there. It's not leaking, but there's tears that they need to get mended up on the roof. And then the steel roof at the annex, I called Maverick to come look at that, because it was a steel roof and Elevate doesn't do those type of things.
How old's that roof?
That was put in one way.
Quite a while?
Yeah, about 21.
Okay.
And that was not him that put that roof on.
Okay.
So you don't know if anybody has showed up to look at any of this yet?
No, it was just last week, and I know
Okay.
when we got that I don't know, when we would get 3
So is there any
inches.
damage inside?
Ceiling tile, One of the offices at the annex reported that one of the ceiling tiles had always been discolored. Didn't think anything of it. And this time they reached up and touched it and it was wet. So,
Do we need to have insurance looking at the roof? I mean, we have insurance on this stuff. No, I'm just asking.
yeah, we could do that. I don't know if it hailed or not. They can figure it
Or
out.
wind damage.
It's not up to us.
Okay.
That west door on the annex actually moves, the bottom is completely rusted out.
Okay. So we're gonna look at
That
getting
needs
those
to be
replaced.
replaced.
That's one of the two doors.
Okay.
Then the one going to the alley, the bottom's all rusted out.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on maintenance?
On building and grounds, no, sir.
Okay.
Don't have anything else.
So let's move on into the air conditioning replacement.
Yeah, I've received 2 bids. It took months.
Yeah, I appreciate
It's,
due diligence
it's
there.
just, and in talking, when Bryce and I went down to Country Care Center, they gave high praises to the company that they use for their system. And so I called them, and it was amazing. They came in and they looked at every unit that we had, measured every unit, and said they do plug up, and you need to get on a maintenance schedule. He says you're very fortunate that you have all copper pipe in the courthouse. He was glad to see that, because a lot of companies, or places do not have that. He says that really makes it nice and easier to hook things up and to maintain.
Okay.
I used to
And-
clean them once a year when I was here.
You'd flush them?
Yep.
Oh, no, I meant through the pipes.
So, well, there's a drain in there too that'll plug. And,
Okay.
And the condensation won't go down if that's plugged, and it'll come out on your carpet.
Yeah.
So we need to get them on a maintenance schedule if we move forward with this.
Yeah, and then the other one was Carrier Corporation. They're the ones who just repaired, and I'm waiting for a $30,000 bill for the repair. And since they repaired it, it's there's a piece inside that is plugged, and so I have to reset it like the other day it was 3 times. I just come to work and I reset it every morning now. So I don't know. So they're coming to fix that piece inside that's giving it that error signal. So there's more repairs. So I think moving forward with a brand new system would be the way to go.
And just so people know, we have a redundancy here. We have one system like we're keeping going, and we don't have no backup now. So we're looking at replacing that backup, which would be our main one.
Yeah,
I
they
assume.
did repair them. The
Right.
redundancy's back, but the whole system's kicking out now
Right.
because it's not, must be running
And how old is
different.
the system?
What's that?
How old is the system?
I really don't know. You have a clue?
When we put that chiller,
Yeah,
that was 2000.
okay.
Yep.
So we're talking
23 years.
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like they said, you can keep putting money into it and get by a little cheaper, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think
Well,
that's,
if we get one new one in there, we can start keeping the other one up,
yeah.
you know, for that redundancy.
The bid from Carrier was $116,550. Carroll Control was $112,850. I also got an independent opinion to make sure the bids were equitable, and it was judged that they were very close in specifications. And I'd ask for a vote on a recommendation on which one to.
Couple
Proceed.
questions.
Sure.
Are they available, or is it gonna be?
14 months is what they're talking.
So another summer?
Yeah, or 14, I'm sorry, weeks.
Okay.
I misspoke.
So,
14 weeks, so you know it's gonna be double that, my
Yeah.
opinion.
but they could get that in before next
Yeah.
summer. And that's, do you have like needs to be installed by,
No, I do not. I can.
Yeah, you should put in there that you want it put
I would
in.
say it needs to be done within this fiscal year, so that'd be
Before it
June
needs to be
30th.
used.
Yeah,
Right,
And
before next spring.
also, when they came in and looked at all the units, he says they have one person employed that goes around and, you know, they'll go up in the attic and they do maintenance once a year, and they go through that. Since Camblin stopped providing that service 6 years ago, 7 years ago, there's been nobody, you know, to provide that service. It just hasn't,
Yeah, that's not good.
yeah.
No, yeah, we need to get back on that schedule and get somebody to do it.
and these units are getting obsolete too.
Right,
They still make them.
and nothing gets any cheaper, that's for sure.
No.
They still make them. We
So you
had a
Feel
local,
the bids are apples for apples?
that's what, the person who I had Joe Petchy come in and look at
Okay.
them. And he said they were equitable, and,
Okay, and who has the low bid?
the 112,850
Control.
was Carroll Control.
And they will do a maintenance schedule.
They'll do maintenance schedule?
They'll do the.
Yeah, but we'd have to pay.
Yeah.
extra.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
they
worth
test, they'll test the glycol, make
We
sure
wanna
it's
do
strong
that.
enough.
Yeah,
Get a price from them on
Yeah.
definitely.
that. Okay,
Well, I'd make a motion to get Carroll Control to do this.
I'll second that.
okay, a motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. And also, I would ask him availability, and we expect to have it in for the next cooling season.
Yeah, and they can use the same pad that's out there.
Yeah, I seen that on the
It'll be
bid.
a little taller, he said.
Probably be smaller though, wouldn't it?
I don't know, but he said it would be taller, sticking above higher, so,
Okay,
I don't know.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
We had to get the drag line from the county engineers up here to set that one in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Will they use a boom truck or something, do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anything else, guys, on that? Mark, thanks for your due diligence on that and getting them bids, and I know that's a process, so I appreciate that. Supervisors report? Got anything?
Have none?
I wish I could say that. Mine's all pipeline stuff. First, I'm going to read our appeal process with our injunction. We are appealing the district court's July 10th, 2023 order granting Summit's motion for a preliminary injunction. The appeal will be heard by a panel of 3 judges from the United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit. The 8th Circuit will consider whether the district court committed error in granting an injunction against the ordinance. The 8th Circuit will issue an opinion either affirming or reversing the district court. The case will be then sent back down to district court for further proceedings. Our legal counsel feels we have good arguments for the appeal, and our insurance carrier, ICAP, supports and will be covering the appeal. Okay?
Where do these judges come from?
They're federal,
Okay.
so it'll be in federal district court, I'm sure in Des Moines. Marcus. can-
Yeah, actually, they're, the 8th Circuit consists of Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Missouri, I think. So they could be in St. Louis, could be in Minneapolis.
Gotcha. Okay.
The judges are from inside that area.
Okay. You have anything to add to what I just said?
No, I think that's accurate.
Okay. Again, the IUB hearings are starting next Tuesday, the 22nd. Supposedly, there's a lot going on right now. There's been several motions to stay by the landowners group and the Sierra Club, our county intervention. A lot has to do with You probably heard on August 4th, North Dakota, their commission denied Summit their permit. And Summit has stated in a public release that they're going to reapply. That could take a year better. And so there's a lot of people questioning why Iowa would go through with the hearings when North Dakota is probably the most important state there, because that's where it's being sequestered. Why are you approving a permit that goes nowhere right now? The main reasons, and you can go online and read it, but the main reasons North Dakota turned down their permit were all for routing and siting. Big one was Bismarck. They're going right along the city limits, and I think, don't quote me, but I think on the northeast part of town, they're actually going through the city. They said they needed to be more open to going around Bismarck the other direction, south and west. They said there was a lot of landowners requesting routing away from their places, and they weren't open to that. And they were also going through some waterfowl reserve and some cultural areas that they weren't being open to rerouting. So they said they were going to, they could either challenge it in court, and somebody said they're going to reapply. So it's going to be quite a process. And then just lately, the landowners group has filed a lawsuit in district court challenging the Iowa Utility Board on some of their process. And so if this thing starts the 22nd, I'm not totally going to be surprised, because it seems like it's kind of been on fast track anyway to get it done, but jeepers, there's 1,000+ landowners that are affected by Schedule H, which is eminent domain, and I don't know how many of them have applied for intervention to speak at the hearing, but if all of them did, and they just took a half hour, you know, you're talking over 500 hours there. This thing's going to take weeks, if not months, and that's not counting the counties, that's not counting the Sierra Club, that's not counting. I see the railroad put in an objection yesterday. It's just overwhelming. So where this goes, I'm just giving you a little forewarning. I'm going up Tuesday when it starts, and then of course when the county has our arguments, or not, with our testimony. Oh, and we have another county, Franklin County, joined our intervention group, so now we have 8.
Good.
They're sharing costs and being together. And of course, when some of our landowners from our county are up there, I don't plan to get a second home or anything up there, but there's a lot going on there. Talked about the North Dakota ruling. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Because this is, it's even hard to follow it, and I follow it every day. So
I brought down those letters just so you could look at them if you wanted to, but I can keep them in my office, of course.
So did they accidentally go to, these are the Schedule H's of people that are being, that someone wants to file eminent domain on. And if this stays and somebody gets a permit and they're granted eminent domain, then we as a board, like any other county, we have to get a hold of our district court judge, and then he has to set up a proceeding for condemnation for the landowners to get fair market value if this all happens. I think this was sent to the district court in error.
Correct.
Do you know who it was supposed to go to?
It was supposed to go to my office.
Supposed to go to your office. This is just serving as a notice that this is going to be coming up at the IUB hearings. Because at first, when Mark had gotten a hold of me, I thought this was, they had sent it to district court, for the condemnation. I thought, wow, they're really getting the cart ahead of the horse, and that's not the case. It just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it went with it.
I think they need to, the utilities board needs to approve their use of eminent domain, and that's why they had to file it with the utilities board and provide notice to the landowners.
Okay. Okay. And so the landowners knew of the proceedings,
Right.
so they could intervene.
Right.
Because some landowners, when it starts here on the 22nd, the landowners who do not have attorneys and are just representing themselves, they get to speak first. And once they get through all those, then they'll start on the ones that have attorney representation, then there'll be cross-examinations. I guess it's just like a trial, right?
Yeah.
That's what Tim has said.
Yeah, it's pretty involved.
Yeah.
Steve, just to let you know, the stack of those that I received at our office is about twice as big as that. They sent them to, they thought Shelby County, they sent them to Shelby County, but they sent them to 1901 Hawkeye Avenue. And so I called the law office and.
This is law office for Summit?
Yeah, in Des Moines, the one
Okay.
that's setting those out.
Yep.
And just told them, hey, you know, we were sending them the wrong place. I did do them a favor on the first stack I received, and I scanned it. You can see there's a code on the labels. Each label has a code on it.
Okay.
So they could tell, you know, what particular landowner it was that by those codes. The first stack I scanned into them, and I sent them so they could see the codes that I had received. Then I've asked them twice now for written permission to destroy those documents that were sent to me, but I haven't received that yet. So they're just sitting stacked on top of my file cabinet right now, waiting to get that.
And they're supposed to go to the county?
That's my understanding, yes, yeah.
Okay.
They listed Shelby County and then put 1901, but that stack there looks smaller than the stack I got, so you might have more coming yet.
Okay. Thank you, sorry.
I believe there's 30 of them
Yeah.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Pipeline? Okay. Consideration of building and grounds use application, Mark?
Yeah, Todd will maybe help me out. It's for the art event, the Forgotten Art, the artists. And that's November 4th. And September 16th and 17th, the annual Southwest Iowa Art Tour. I've never had a problem with either one of these events.
Okay.
They're just great to work with.
Do you have anything to add, Todd?
No, like Mark
Pretty
said.
routine?
Pardon?
Pretty routine here?
Very routine. In fact, yeah, I was going to mention the Southwest Iowa Art Tour during my comments, just because it's the 10th year, and one of the unique things about our,
10 years.
I know, and one of the unique things about our location was last year we had more people visit us than Council Bluffs did.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really it's an economic, you know, really good program for us locally. People are coming in, they're buying meals, buying gas, hanging out, buying art. So yeah, it's a really good deal.
And it makes our job easy too. These people that apply here, they've shown they can do it, and they're very responsible. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the application for the art event?
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Mr. Todd, Chamber report, morning.
Morning.
Todd?
Good morning.
Last Friday, I had Dick Keen and Bonsals in town, and we were looking at repairing those lights on the north side and the west side of the square.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's above Purple Door, and kind of over by Kate's building, and then above Randy Oren's building.
I've seen somebody up there working on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lift in town that we normally use to do that type of work was just not available, so they brought their boom truck, but they just couldn't, you know, you just can't get close enough to the building. So it ended up being more of an inspection than actually getting the work done. They identified some leads that need to be replaced, some power supplies, and of course, some of the actual lights themselves. He's supposed to be getting me an estimate on it. We do have funds, you know, from the previous Friends of Downtown to cover these types of things. Hoping to get them repaired before the holiday season. That was, you know, just my goal. If we could get this done before November and December, and we got people downtown shopping and stuff, we want to have those lights working.
Who does the work?
Bonzels. And so he'll get back to me. I've also been going back and forth with the insurance company on it, because we believe that it's a combination of hail damage and we also had an electric strike about a year ago that also hit it, so. And so, but I let Dick know I need that, you know, professionally verified, so I turn it in for insurance, so. So still working on it. He's telling me it'll be about a day and a half of work once he gets what he's ordered. Don't know yet how long that's gonna take for him to get what he's ordered. And then just a couple of notes for the community. Monday the 21st, there'll be a mobile food pantry drive-through, you know, over at Vets again. So that'll be starting at 4:30. And as always, people just, you pull in the parking lot, line up, and then, you know, it's there till all the food's gone, so. And then kind of a fun thing they're gonna do on Thursday the 24th, it's gonna be down at Merrill. It's gonna start at 6, so they'll have food available. And it's a preview of the Harlan Community School Marching Band, and also a chance to meet the new band director, Mr. The new activities director, Mr. Donahue. So I don't know if they've ever really done that before. I don't remember them having a night where they kind of showcased the marching band and had food and stuff, so.
Is this before the scrimmage?
Might be.
Because I heard on the radio coming in today that scrimmage has been moved now from Thursday to Friday.
Oh, yeah, so probably, yeah, so, yeah, because originally they were gonna do this on the 22nd, that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up, because they moved it to the 24th. And so if somebody had already put the note in their calendar, they'll need that update.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, other than that, just continuing to click along. Marching ahead, working on, I'll be updating the board today on the Make My Move program we've been working on and some of the contacts we've had there, and also talking about the lights and a few other things. But
When did Dollar General open? I just went by there and seen if that's an activity.
they opened last weekend,
Yep.
Okay.
and they didn't announce it. They just did it, which is kind of interesting.
They didn't want to be flooded.
Yeah.
Soft opening.
They said it's going, you know, really well, so, and now, and I haven't been able to confirm it, but the rumor is that, you know, because they're gonna keep both of the buildings operating, and that it would actually be the previous location that would get remodeled into a fresh market.
Oh,
See, I thought, you know, all along I was kind of believing that was just the way the building looked, and what I looked up online, I thought that was gonna be the fresh market, but it sounds like the one that's down on Chaplain is gonna be when it gets remodeled, it'll be a fresh market. So,
I've been in a new one, it's nice.
yep. And Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, they got their signs up.
Oh, really?
Yep, so they're getting really close to opening. And Scooters, and again, these are guesstimates because we talked to them a little bit through the day, but that Monday that they first opened, I believe they serviced about 375 cars or so. And then the following Tuesday, they serviced just as many, if not, so.
They were
What's their
right up
hours?
there down the road.
Yes, they were.
what's their hours?
They're opening at 5:30, if I remember right, and then closing early evening.
Okay.
Yeah, because we went back and forth a little bit on their opening hours. I can't remember if it was 5:30 or 6, because we were trying to identify, especially like at the hospital and stuff, you know, who comes in
Oh, gotcha, sure.
early, so.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Secondary roads report, Brandon? Morning.
Good morning.
And you have a Windstream utility permit.
I do. I believe it was on the agenda last
Yep.
meeting, but not everything was turned in. It is on Juniper Road, just a new service to a house. So basically, they might do a little bit of trench work if some of the
Juniper and what? Like what?
Juniper north of F66, so down by Avoca,
Okay,
be a mile west of 59.
okay,
Just service to a new home that's on the other side of the road. So basically, they're just boring under Juniper, and then they might have to do a little bit of work in the ditch, but got their
so are they going out
insurance
into any landowners ground?
just to the pad.
Okay, but I mean, landowners are okay on
Yep.
board with this?
Yep. No, this house is the one that wants the service.
Okay.
So
Okay, what about the other side of the road? Are they
they're
just
in the right of way.
right-
Yep. So they're not crossing the right of way from.
No, I just wanna make sure, because when we upgraded our permit
Yep.
a couple years ago,
Yep.
we had to make sure landowners are on board and compensated for that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
No issues. Got the bond. Got the insurance. I recommend.
all the boxes checked.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Windstream permit then?
Motion?
Second?
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. And what's going on?
On top of that, still no word from Western on F-24. I guess one good thing, they're gonna have the plant, I can see it out our window, so when the plant starts going up, I think our ears will perk up a little bit.
What is kind of the time frame there?
The end of August is what they said.
Okay.
They did the edge drain, and the foreman for that said, they weren't really planning on coming to Shelby County, but Western said, we need you here because we want to start, and then they haven't started, and that was 3-4 weeks ago, so.
Okay,
I know it'll kick off 10.1 to patch on M16 too. They're gonna get patch from Western down there, so they're thinking end of September. Talked to KR Buck with 10 yesterday, and he said approximately into September, granted, Western's got their plant up and going.
how long will that take them once they get started?
So they'll cook right along. There's quite a few spots to patch, but they'll probably do 25 or 30 a day. So I think there's a couple hundred, so
Okay,
10, 12 days, something like that. Pilot car, flaggers, and it'll be an inconvenience, but they'll stay kind of in the same footprint the whole time, so.
When do they have to have 24 done by?
Oh, the last day to pave is November 15th, but I sure hope they're not still working on it then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No. I guess I would assume we're counting working days right now. I'd have to ask Chris how many we've counted, but we're probably, I think we started counting at the end of June, so we're at least a month and a half, probably 25 or 30 working days into a 100 working day project, so I would think they'd want to get in here and get it done.
Absolutely.
And I know they wanted to do it in conjunction with 59, but I haven't seen them doing any, they're gonna cold in place that like we did to M47, and I assume they're trying to get done with those bridges before they have that worked on there too.
It just crossed the bridges, looks like we're just getting pretty close.
Just
Yeah,
getting
it's
spanned
back
up.
here and,
So that'll be moving forward, but once we see a plant start to go up, we'll have a better idea. Bridge crew, they have one span of beams left to tear out on that bridge on 2000th and Ginkgo, then they're gonna start laying a bed for that tank shell culvert, so they're moving along pretty quick.
they have most of the dirt there for that.
They probably have to do a little bit of ditch cleaning, probably to the west
Okay.
of there, but there's, the bridge was so long, there should be enough dirt within the footprint to do a lot of it, and there's a lot of broken concrete there, and we got a lot
Yeah, there is.
right north of Erling from when we patched M16, we kept
Right.
all that, so we're pretty close
Okay.
with all that, and then there was a couple guys that are close that have good piles, we're gonna
Good.
take over there.
Good.
The pipe crew, they're up pouring head walls hopefully this morning on Umbrella north of F24. Get those stripped tomorrow and start backfilling, so got that on the run now. M56, working on pulling that in from the county line south to 24 right now, then we're gonna jump to F24 and keep going south on 56, then we'll fix that for Mr. Jewell there when we get there, but doing well on that. yeah, they're.
Still
moving
getting
right
rocking
along.
north?
Yes, today and tomorrow, hauling it into Irwin and mixing it, so, and then that mix is going on in.
Oh, your other
36.
piles?
Full,
Oh,
full,
okay.
that's why the claims were so big.
Okay.
Rock was probably 75% of what I spent on claims this month, so
Okay,
they're all full now.
good.
Gonna try, had a guy come in, there's a culvert with a pretty rusted bottom on it. Gonna try concrete canvas instead of replacing the culvert. It's got head walls on it and stuff, so I'll kind of bring in a video and show you how that works. But basically it's a poly liner with concrete in it, and you screw it, lag it into the culvert, you find something good, so you go up the sides a little bit and then lag it in and then put water on it and it hydrates and kind of settles down into the ribs. And they say they guarantee it for 15 to 20 years, but I mean, I would assume it's gonna last. We're gonna get a whole nother life out of the culvert. And then we're gonna try it on, it's an 84 inch that's 85 foot long.
Whoa.
So,
Wow.
you know, we're probably talking $15,000 to $20,000 just for the culvert itself. So if we can extend the life, it's something we're gonna try, and I think it's about $3,000 for the canvas, so. It's just another tool in the
So do they
toolbox.
come in and do that?
No, we do it ourselves. And it's, I mean, I think we caught this one in time. If they get real bad, you gotta cut it into sections and lay it in and stair step it up. I think we caught this one where we can just roll it out in it, and it'll just be one contiguous piece. But like I said, it'll be a first for us, but if it works, I think it's got potential to save us a lot of money.
Great.
So, yeah, other than that, plank and culvert, Denison Livestock Auction is next week, the 22nd. We take our excess stuff up there now, so if you're looking for plank or used culverts or anything like that, we have some, Crawford County has some up there, so.
They get a pretty good crowd for that?
Yeah, we've done very well the last several years that we've taken it up there. And then, I guess the last bit of news, Doug Derringer told me he's retiring at the end of September. So,
Good for him, bad for
yeah,
us, right?
yeah, right. But we currently have his job posted internally. I think there's some interest in it, so report back, kind of have it open through the end
When
of
did you
this
say?
week.
He's
End
retired?
of September.
End of
I
September.
believe it's the 28th, I think.
Great.
So, yeah, good for him.
Mhm.
Like you said, good for him, bad for us.
I'll be here before you know it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, but like to get somebody in there and have them cross-train for a couple weeks. and
Yep.
Work on, if it does get filled in-house, then there'll be another position open that needs to
Yeah.
get filled, so.
Doug's done a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, it'll be a big loss.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything he's done for the county. He does
His
good,
title,
so.
shop foreman?
Shop foreman.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all I have for today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you.
Thank you. Last on the agenda, urban renewal certificate approval for fiscal year 2023. Mark?
Yeah, I believe I sent you all
Yep.
copies of the thing, and bottom line is what they still owe us. In TIF, we've spent that much, and it has to be filed with the legislature every year.
Yep.
That's the one I forgot to do last year, and we didn't do it till like February.
Brandon, how long we've been doing this, all our TIF goes in different districts, next to matrices, in the county for bridge, culvert repair, road maintenance in those areas.
Yep. It's, since they built the dairy, so I'm not sure when that was.
Okay, we've been
before
doing
I
this quite a
started
while, it's
here,
worked out
but
well. It's
15
always in the
years
neighborhood
maybe.
of close to $200,000. We get the money back from TIF, pay our debts off, and it's been, all goes secondary roads.
Yep.
So, do you have any
The biggest ones are Co-op in
Defiance?
Defiance.
Kirkwood
The
Farm.
grain facility down on the Corley Road,
Yep.
Yep.
and the dairy.
Yep.
And the dairy will expire, I believe it's in 27. The 20-year window's done with that thing. And that's about 70,000 a year, so that'll disappear in '27, so everybody's prepared.
Okay.
But doesn't mean you have to stop spending, it just means it's gonna take you longer to get that stuff paid off.
We never stop spending, there's
And-
always
And
repairs.
the chicken facility
Yep.
in Grove Township, Tony Buman was accurate with his estimates, I think it's $3,500. Doesn't pay for redoing the road, but it helps. Every little bit helps. The only trouble is you get $3,500 for 20 years. Okay, that adds up, but the initial costs with the attorneys and everything I think it cost us $3,500 to have the attorneys help us through that process. So you only get 19 years out of it, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's money,
Yeah, if we don't do it, we get zero.
yes, that's correct.
So, okay, any other questions or comments on that? Mark? A motion to approve the tip certificate for fiscal year 2023.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Does anybody have anything else not on the agenda that they wish to speak about? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.